They'll love the very life out of your body. Welcome to I Hope You Suffer.
Yeah.
Episode 369. We're getting
Nice.
We're getting sort of sexy. People get covered in white goo.
We're bringing sexy back.
Yep.
Yeah, not as sexy as I thought it was gonna be.
No,
but
well,
here we are.
trust me, I could have picked something that would have been upsetting for
No,
you. But
it's fine.
yeah.
It's fine. This was fine.
Yeah.
I do take offense to the other tagline though, which is "Ordinary housewives turn into ravishing creatures." Leave housewives alone. What do you mean?
The other title for this is Graveyard Tramps.
Oh,
And
what?
Also Alien Predators.
No.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I mean, look, I would watch a movie called Graveyard Tramps, but I
I would too, but like, what does that have to do with this movie?
I have no idea. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Invasion of the Bee Girls from a year, I think 1973.
Yes.
This is a movie that I bought really early on when I got a DVD player, and they used to, like, just grocery stores would sell those, like, fucking 10 packs of, like, public domain horror movies and shit, and I remember this being the only good one in whatever set I got. Or the only one I was like, this isn't garbage, so... yeah, so I've, like, this is one I actually wanted to do an episode on for a while. And we hit another 69, so I was like, it's time.
Another 69.
The Bee Girls have finally invaded.
Yep.
They're here.
They're here.
What
They've
Poltergeist voice.
Literally. No, it's actually Zach Baggins doing Poltergeist voice. They're here.
I had thoroughly wiped that episode from my brain, and now it's back. Real quick, Katie, did you buy the Mind Freak magic set?
No, I didn't.
Unbelievable.
Sad.
I know, I'm sorry. I could not believe my eyes, but also I don't think everything was in there. And like,
Yeah, that's every time
I just couldn't also
I was gonna say I'll stumble
justify
across
having it in my house.
like a board game that like looks insane, or like one of those like weird fucking like 90s TV show themed board games that I'm like, I bet this is fucking dumb as shit. And then I open it and it's like the entire board is missing.
Yeah, I didn't even open it. I just was like so shook to see Chris Angel in the wild. But
Yeah. All right.
unfortunately not.
I guess we're not gonna get mind freaked on this episode.
Yeah, sorry.
Damn.
All right. What do y'all think about Invasion of the Bee Girls?
It was
I
fine.
thought it was fun. It was one of those ones that's like, it's very silly 70s, like kind of over the top, sleazy psychedelic nonsense that like, it's real fun to watch the one time, but then I don't think I'm ever going to watch it again.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that in my memory is way more exciting than it is. Like it has it like in my memory it's all just like the Bee Girls doing shit as opposed to just this weird fucking cop drama.
Yeah.
And so like watching it this time I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of boring. I guess at least it's only like 80 something minutes, but
Yeah, I think
it never outstays its welcome.
yeah.
So at least there's that.
I did find it a little long.
What shocker.
I think that like what I enjoy, I did like the premise because it kind of is like if you didn't know that it was called Invasion of the Bee Girls and you didn't know that bee things were happening, I think it's like kind of a cool like you said like it really is centered around this like FBI government guy like trying to figure out what's going on, and then of course he like falls in love with like the one librarian in the movie. But like it is kind of like a mystery, like what's going on, and then it turns out to be kind of sci-fi, which like I appreciate, but it does that thing that I don't like about 70s movies where like the scenes like random stuff happens in the background that what there's like no explanation for why it's happening, or like I just feel like I'm missing parts of it or something. I don't know. There's also so many dead guys, which was great, but like most of my notes are like, now this doctor is dead. Now that doctor is dead. So
Yeah, it's like the first 30 minutes of the movie.
yeah, it might be hard to follow my notes, but I kind of wish that they did something to the B girls other than like black contacts. I think is really like my big like I feel like the girls weren't cool.
I mean,
enough.
I think the idea, like, I half agree. Because like I think the first time I watched it, I was like, oh man, they're gonna turn into like it's gonna be like The Fly or some shit. You know, they turn into
Right.
But I also like I think like to kind of keep the mystery of the movie where all you really see is just like the giant black eyes instead. Like I think it works, but like I also kind of wish it was like more stupid sci-fi where like they turned into actual bee women. But also you get bee vision, so
lots of bee vision.
A lot of buzzing.
I didn't necessarily need them to like turn into creatures.
Sure, yeah.
I just would have like slightly a little bit more. I did think
take
like
their hair
I did
off
like
and they got little antennae.
yeah. And like a buzz cut. Yeah. Get it? Buzz cut.
Get it.
I did enjoy that like for some reason after the ladies are bee girls, they all wear sunglasses inside, but they're like those big like circular like bee eye sunglasses, and I was like that's how you can know that they're hot now because they have makeup and sunglasses on. I was like, all right, tight. I do think that like when you're looking at the cover though, they do seem to be more of like a sexy clique of they've got this like bathing suit thing on, and in the movie they pretty much just wear like lab coats.
Yeah,
so
like
I don't know.
The movie poster kind of feels like when you would see like a motorcycle gang movie or whatever where like it looks way more interesting than the actual movie tends to be.
Yeah, because like there's like the action shot of the guy with a gun. I don't think he actually has a gun. If I don't remember.
Yeah, I feel like this FBI guy is just constantly just like fist fighting people.
Yeah, and like I mean, whatever. I yeah. So I mean, it was fine. Graveyard Tramps. I can't even imagine. Like what?
What if I told you there is a sequel to this, but it's not a movie? Somebody made a play called Beyond the Invasion of the Bee Girls.
I would
Hell
say
yeah.
amazing.
I saw something about a sequel.
Is that on Broadway?
Like, yeah, probably. It's probably still running. That's why.
Definitely.
That's why Cats stopped playing.
That's right.
I was
Andrew Lloyd Webber's Beyond the Invasion of the Bee Girls.
I saw something that was like, oh, blah 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 sequel, and I immediately started to like, oh, I'm gonna see if I can watch this, and I had to go back. I'm like, oh, it's a fucking play.
Yeah,
That's
what
amazing.
the fuck? I desperately like this is like another one of those ones where there's just not like any real information.
Info. Yeah.
And so I was like,
do you think there was a butthole cut?
Probably. I mean, I would assume every movie has a butthole cut, to be honest.
Yeah, you would think
Be
so.
honest.
Yeah.
Get ready. Strap in for that.
The B movie, butthole cut.
Release it, cowards.
Yeah.
Show me your beehole.
Oh man.
Now I'm just thinking of the Game Changers episode where Izzy's like, like
buttholes.
Yeah, they're just like the prompt is like, suggest like a graphic that'll go on the screen. It's just like buttholes everywhere.
Oh my god.
So there's just like these cartoon like throbbing buttholes all over the set for like 2 minutes,
spinning around.
What a good show.
Well. Sounds like cinema. Okay.
Yeah, we can get into the plot. Like,
shall we?
Yeah.
Shall we? Okay, so this movie starts.
Explain this movie.
Okay, we'll see. This movie starts immediately at a roadside motel where there's goings on. Yeah. It's either The Woods or Roadside Motel. Like those are the two intros you have to pick between.
Or credits, which Katie hates.
Right, and they didn't. You know what? I actually really appreciate that the credits are broken up into different scenes in this movie. So the credits go on for like 20 minutes, but you get like 5 minutes of stuff in between, which I think is great.
Someone should do an entire movie like that, where it's just like credits just periodically.
All credits.
Yeah, until you get to the end of the movie, and then they just
like Prince. Like Prince of Darkness takes again. Like 10 minutes.
Right.
Like just do that, but for the entire hour and a half.
I think that would work for me.
You get to the very end, and then it hits the title card, and then just the credits
and
again.
Then just the actual
like the solid credits. Yeah. I love that.
Credits
I would
the
love
movie.
that.
Yeah.
I actually am really surprised that doesn't exist because it's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And
I would bet somebody's made like a short
incredible.
Or some shit.
Oh my god, Amityville credits.
Yes.
Trademark. I be suffering.
You haven't seen anything until you've seen credits.
I'm so excited about this idea. Okay. Okay, so yeah, Roadside Motel. Goings on, you know how it is. And then there's a maid that comes into a room and she screams because there's a dead guy.
Naked dead man.
Dead guy number 1. The police come to investigate and are like looking at the ledger, and the police officer's like John Doe, and the motel is just like, John Doe is a real name. Well, it wasn't. We find out that the guy who's dead is like some sort of bacteriological guy. There's a lot of scientific words in this movie that I'm not even gonna pretend to like say or talk about, but what we need to know about him is that he's got like government clearance because he's doing like research for the government.
What you need to know is every man in this movie is a fucking nerd.
Yeah, yes, including the main character. So
I was gonna say, except for the cop, who you could tell isn't a nerd because he's punching everybody.
Well, but he's a cop, so
yeah, he sucks.
AKA nerd.
Part of the job.
Yeah. So then they're showing like the coroner talking to the police officer about like what happened to this man, and they say that he died of a clogged heart ventricle caused by exhaustion. And so I guess what we need to like say about this, which I don't know that that's a thing. I guess I'm not a doctor, but they're basically like insinuating that he met a woman at this hotel that was not his wife, right? So they're like, he died from this like exhaustion essentially, and the cop goes, was he fooling around? And the coroner goes, was he ever?
And how?
This dude
Literally
got fucked to death.
Yeah, and so they like make jokes about this the entire time,
Coroners.
pretty much.
And from one thing I've gathered from watching movies is that all coroners are real jokesters.
Yeah, like literally.
I bet they're a hoot.
Yep.
You know?
I think they seem like they are. Okay, so they're interviewing this like tenant who was staying in the motel room next to the dead doctor, and they're basically like, did you hear anything? He's like, no, I didn't hear anything except like I heard this weird humming that the TV was really, really loud, and I think it was off air because I heard this really loud humming sound. And of course, we know this movie is called Invasion of the B-Girls, so we're like, humming, you
Unless
say?
it was Graveyard Tramps, then you'd be like, what the fuck are they talking about?
That's why I actually am kind of saying I feel like I don't know that Graveyard Tramps would do this movie justice at all.
No,
like I think that's a
it would
different
be
movie.
like when we watched Tsunami and we were like, these are not bees. This is not a tsunami.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
yes.
none of this makes
These
any
aren't
sense.
Graveyard Tramps at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
no.
single graveyard
So,
in this whole movie.
There's not. Actually, there is one time, but
Oh, well, never mind. I take it back. That would make sense.
yeah, it's the one time. So that's why I'm like, if we didn't already know this was bees, then that would be like suspicious. I also had a thought where like there's like a large portion of people who maybe will watch this movie at one point and have no idea what they're talking about when they're talking about the television going off air.
Oh, yeah.
And so here we are. There's been another murder. I will say, at least there's men dying left and right in this movie. So if you feel some kind of way, you could definitely watch this and like they're
Like,
slotting through.
For some
The-
reason, in my memory, this movie had so much more to do with, like, they were killing, like, abusive spouses and shit. And I guess technically a
Yeah.
bunch of these men are, like, cheating on their wives. So, like,
Yeah, yeah.
they
Sure.
do deserve it. But, like, I don't know why. I guess there is, like, an assault scene and shit. I don't know. But in my mind, like,
Yeah.
every dude in this was just, like, so deserving of this death. And I was like, well, some of these dudes just seem like they just, like, got picked up by a woman at the bar.
Um,
the reveal of each murder is fucking hilarious too, because it's always like the woman's on the couch and she rolls over and she's like, "Oh, your hand's cold," and then it pans over real hard and you see a dead body.
and the
Every
dudes
single
are
time,
always,
it's a hard pan.
yeah, it's a
it's
hard
great.
cut or a pan, and then the dudes are always sheet white, like
Yeah.
making scream faces, and it's like jarring every single time it happens.
My favorite one is the dude who's got, like, the Bunsen burner that's, like, in front of his junk to just cover
Oh yeah,
his nudity when they just, like, pan over.
yeah. No male nudity, I will say, but women,
Sad.
that's fine. But the 70s, I guess.
Could use some more dongs.
Yeah,
Every
100%.
movie could.
Listen, I'm just gonna reiterate that I don't want it to be shown to me against my will, but I also just feel like equal opportunity. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't exploit the women here. This was like decades ago. I understand that. Okay, so there's been another Moida, as I said. This is when the government agent, who was like the main guy, and I wrote Neil ? That might be his name, but I called him FBI agent or agent the entire time.
Yeah, he
He's
doesn't
also
deserve a name.
inconsequential, really. He doesn't matter, actually, to be fair. So he comes to investigate the murders because, again, the government is funding the research of these men who are dying. They're science. I don't even technically know if they're all doctors, but like they're scientific doctors. So let me just like say that up front. They're all doctor to me. This is when he goes to the library and bumps into who I called the head librarian. She's definitely more than that because she's like in charge of the research materials that she then helps the people who are doing the experiments like research on. But I just called her librarian. So here we go. She's talking about how the guy who died in the very beginning was doing research on bacterial warfare.
Hell yeah.
Yikes. And she happened to be the last person to see him
What if he
because
was going
they
to
had dinner
war
together.
with bacteria?
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that then. Yeah, that's good.
He goes into a lab that's like
Just
filled with bacteria
just
and
shoots
like
Just, like,
punching the
punching it.
air. Yeah, fucking elbowing some mold.
Knocking, all the flasks down and whatnot.
That's the movie I want to watch.
I like that. Yeah, I'm into that. Amityville Chemistry Lab.
Amityville bacterial warfare.
Yeah.
I was
Amityville fungicide.
I was trying to explain because, like, while my uncle was here, he was asking me about the podcast and stuff, and I was talking about it, and like somehow we started talking about the Amityville movies, and I was trying to explain to him how batshit stupid that entire thing has become, and he was just like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Yeah, that's fair.
I was like, "You
That's
haven't
a
seen
fair
Amityville
response.
Teabag? What are you talking about?"
Yeah, what? That's a staple, I feel.
Amityville shoelace.
You're making me feel like a real freak for watching all these movies.
I feel so normal until like if the podcast comes up, like even
I know.
when I was like even when I was like at that horror book club and it just like happened to come out and I was like, I don't know if Kit was a part of this conversation even, but I like accidentally started talking about the podcast because one of the people was saying that they were in a book club where they read like the dumbest shit books, like Amish time traveling and just like stuff like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so funny because, and then I start talking about the podcast and then it's like people start asking questions and I'm like, this is a bit of a
I'm
mistake.
suddenly very uncomfortable with this.
There is a reason
and I'm
I
like-
have never let anyone I know that I work with have any sort of inclination that I'm even online.
Yeah, and like Unfortunately, I don't think anybody in my family listens, but they all know about it because like I obviously have like been like, oh, I can't do such and such because of recording or whatever. But I'm just like,
I just like
please don't.
he was asking about like just sort of like generally like what the movies we kind of cover are, and so I was trying to explain like The Lock-In to him, and like
Yeah.
Ashley Hayes Wright movies and shit. I was like, I sound like a fucking maniac.
That's pretty much yeah. So I do also try not to talk about it unless like I really, you know.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
has
know.
to be like somebody that I know has at least an understanding of what these kind of movies are, because trying to explain like and Colony to somebody, you're gonna sound like an absolute fucking lunatic.
Yeah. So you know. Okay.
No CGI
Biological
tattoos in this
warfare.
movie, unfortunately.
So
No,
sad.
no.
What a waste.
Okay, so yes, okay, so the librarian was the last person to see that doctor alive because she had dinner with him, and she's like, yeah, his wife knew about it. Like, we always had dinner together because we were working late or whatever. And then he's like, oh, he's like kind of insinuating that she was at the motel with him. And so she's like, yeah. So then we were playing footsie underneath the table at dinner, like good old times. And then we went to the motel and we were balling and balling and balling. And I was like, they were.
They say balling in this movie so much.
Until later on I'm not even kidding you, until later on in the movie, I had no idea what she was talking about. I will also say there were no subtitles.
Yeah.
I was like, they were crying? Why?
Oh yeah. I just kept like, maybe I did have
They play
subtitles.
basketball.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But like every time I heard it, I was just like, are they in a rap group? What's happening?
Yeah. They were playing a basketball tournament together. They're talking about intercourse, by the way, in case anyone like me was confused, because I was like, what? What is she talking about? And then she's like, and then I killed him, and he's like, haha, I see what you mean. That does sound crazy. And I was like, it doesn't really, but like, okay, let's just go with it. But yes, balling, they say a lot, and I had never heard that term in that way used, so I was like,
don't think I have either. I've only heard it in like the form of like you said, like a basketball or like something in like rap lyrics.
Yeah, so
I have, but it's only in like shit from the 70s. Like,
so yeah, that was
no
my
one
guess.
says that.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna bring it back.
All right,
Yeah,
you can do it.
it's time to start balling again.
Yep.
When we were, this just reminds me of like catchphrases or whatever. One of the days that we were like walking the path, there was these two people biking, and one of them like went off the path because it's like paved, went off the path and like the dirt a little bit, and their like partner was like, "Let it rip" or something like that, and, and we started laughing, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring "Let It Rip" back. Because we were like, that she probably was like so embarrassed that she said that. You know how sometimes you just say stuff when you're like feeling socially awkward,
or even just like saying something like stupid that would make like your partner laugh, but then you don't even contemplate that there's just like strangers around.
There's somebody else. Yeah. And so I was like, I love that. I'm gonna take back "Let It Rip." So
I'm never embarrassed letting her rip.
Right? I sent Katie the picture. I think I sent you the picture. Yeah, I did, of me doing the fucking hang ten. My mom kept being like telling Caitlin like, take pictures and send them to me from this weekend. And so Caitlin was like, go to like stand over there by your uncle and like we'll take a picture. And I just started doing like hang 10 signs and like this fucking public fucking art park.
I love
it. And then
it.
Caitlin realized it was like one of the iPhone like live pictures. So I'm like, when like they opened it, like I'm physically like moving my hands and I look so stupid.
Actually doing it.
That's why I need Caitlin to text me, because your stupid phone doesn't do that. So to
be fair, the one I had just screenshot from like their Instagram story or whatever.
I do something that's really embarrassing, which is that I still do the peace sign in pictures, and I cannot stop, and I don't want to be doing it. Like that is embarrassing to me, but I cannot stop myself. That's like my go-to. Or because like I don't know.
I don't
want to do it.
having my picture taken, so all of mine look like that one picture.
No,
of, like,
I don't
Kevin
either.
James when he's just got his hands in his pocket. The like
Cool
sort of,
guy.
yeah.
Cool guy. I love that meme so much. Yeah, I don't either, and so that's why I feel like when I'm in them, I don't know what to do, so I just do a PC. I'm just like, and I'm like, what? We need to stop.
I'll bring it back.
Let
Hey,
it rip.
Ted, I'm just gonna do that for real from now on.
I'm going to keep throwing the deuce, and the deuce will eventually come back in style. I'll be ahead of the curve.
Or I'll just start. I'll start doing the like where people think they're throwing up metal horns, but it's like the "I love you" hand sign or whatever instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say I also sometimes do the horns, but considering that most of the pictures that people take of me or when I'm like with family, like the peace sign's gonna have to do. But yeah,
you do both. You've got two hands.
Yeah,
that is true.
Just show like the dichotomy in your personality.
That's right. I am but a girl.
She's wild.
I contain multitudes.
I'm not. I do. I really do. Let it rip. You know, that's just like when Nathan would say "take it easy," and I started making fun of him.
I still say it, so.
Take it easy.
I'm gonna just bring back like all like 90s fashion and shit's back. So like I'm just gonna start like saying "cowabunga" for real and shit like that.
Tubular. Yeah.
My favorite thing to say that Tess fucking hates is I'll say "take it easy," and if it's easy, take it twice.
I don't like it.
I don't even. I think "take it easy." I think I just picked up from like the Midwest, and like I am so like an awkward person dealing with like the public, so like or just like coworkers that I don't really want to have like any sort of like non-work relationship with. So like the entire thing is like, "How are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, you know, it's going," or like fucking whatever.
Yeah.
And so I think "take it easy" just became like a thing I was saying for like people like that, and it just stuck.
Yeah.
And I'm old.
Take it easy. Sure. That's why I feel like bring it back, let it rip.
We should.
I love it so much. Especially because it was like such a moment of like upliftment for him because he was going off-roading. And it like, and it wasn't even off-roading because it was just like right to the, just like next to the path,
2 inches off the bike path.
Yeah, but he like stood up on the bike and everything, and she was like, "Let it rip, babe," or something like that. And I was like, I love that for them.
I hope
like,
they listen
that
to this.
So cute. That would be wild.
Could you imagine?
Yeah,
we got didn't get a Spotify comment on it.
It was like an email that's like, "That was actually me," and they sent a picture. Katie's like, "Oh my god, that was them."
Yeah, that was me. Let it rip. I love that for them. I'm wishing them all the best.
You should go hang out on that bike path and see if they ever go by and take a picture. Or we'll just put them on a shirt that says "Let it rip." And get sued.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Anyway, they were big girls.
We're like 10 minutes into the. Yeah.
To be fair, nothing really happens outside of a bunch of dudes dying for the next 40 minutes.
Okay, except for that, like, okay, so she's basically just like, yeah, we were ballin'. You know how we do.
Forgot that. And,
like, the agent was like, haha, you're so funny. So he's like, okay, yeah, you know, like, you're not a suspect anymore, randomly. Okay, then it just, like, cuts to a guy and a girl riding a motorbike into the wilderness, totally butt naked.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, that doesn't seem... They are letting her rip. Doesn't seem comfortable to me, but it's fine. They get off the bike and like make out, and they're literally rolling down the hill, and it's like really tall grass. I was like, this
drives me crazy because it's like I feel like you'll see this in like 60s or 70s movies where it's supposed to be like, wow, this is so sexy. And I'm like, this is the worst thing I can imagine. Being naked, rolling down a grassy hill, hard pass.
Yeah. They're also like every ballin encounter in this movie is literally like
every balling.
It's like the stiffest thing I've ever seen in my life. So it's like
that's what she said.
Which is weird. Wow. It's so weird because like I know
you walked right into it.
I know at
I
least
get
a
it.
couple of the like B girls in this are like legitimate like adult film stars at the time.
Uh-huh.
And it's just like everyone in this until like maybe outside of maybe like the librarian and like the head B girl just seems so uncomfortable all the
The
time.
Queen Bee.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Queen Bee. I
Beyonce's in
did
this
call her
movie.
Queen Bee. Ugh.
Yeah,
Um,
Queen Bee.
so yeah, okay, so they're like making out and rolling down in the weeds, which again, yeah. But when they get to the bottom, the guy's just dead, and she just like walks
Which
away into
makes
the
no
grass. And I was
sense
like,
with like the premise of how they kill these dudes.
yeah, I'm not sure, but he's
It's
dead.
they bang him to exhaustion, and it's got to be pretty exhausting banging rolling down a hill. You know?
Yeah, I guess if they're
I
doing it at
guess
the
so,
same
but
time.
Yeah,
What if they were just like
yeah, you're gonna get exhausted real
this
fast.
guy actually died of a broken neck.
yeah, they don't have to have intercourse to kill him. Sometimes they just kill him because they want to, which is fine.
Can we talk
Yeah,
Things
about
happen.
real quick how the cop FBI guy in this, like our main person you follow, is the least charismatic person I have ever seen, and he is portrayed as
Agree.
if he's like just every woman in this movie is like, I need this dude's dick immediately.
I feel like that's how pretty much every 70s like act lead guy is to me. I'm just like, what?
I guess especially when they're cops, I'm like, this is the fucking blandest dude I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And he's like, his
Um,
acting is
Realistic portrayal.
I mean, yes, but like his acting is so fucking bland. His hair is horrendous. It's
Yeah,
a
it's
bummer.
not great.
They should have just got rid of every dude in this movie and just had it be all B girls.
I agree.
They're just killing each other.
Well,
B girls
they don't.
versus
Okay.
wasp women.
Ooh,
Hell
there you go.
yeah!
That's
Now
a
we're
good one.
talking.
Yeah,
Trademark.
he's dead. So the librarian says, okay, so now the agent guy is like interviewing her about like what's going on at the lab. And again, I just want to say that these are like the least, all of the men in this movie, this like entire scientist group are like the least charismatic. They have no personalities. They're not attractive. And she's like, yeah, so basically the entire department is just like there's a bunch of sex games that happen and there's wife swapping going on and it's just like really just like there's a lot of shenanigans and I was like, ew. Like what?
Look,
But they're basically just
nerds are the
saying
horniest fucking people on Earth.
I like sure, but she's just talking about how yeah, basically nobody can keep it in their pants at all. And so this is the scene Kit was talking about earlier where it randomly like switches over to just like some random girl and a guy that go to like hook up in this fraternity house and she like touches the dead guy and he's just like there like that's what their faces are like. And that's why I'm saying like it's confusing because like there's the agent and the stuff happening and then it's just randomly like here's a dead guy.
Well,
Here's a dead guy.
this
Here's a dead guy.
like feels like one of those movies where like they knew what they were making, and so they probably didn't put like an insane amount of effort into like editing and like
Yeah.
real like story plot points. Where they probably just filmed shit and they were just like, who gives a fuck? People are gonna see this like once on a big screen and like never again.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for me, one of the biggest problems with 70s movies is the editing, so like that makes sense. It is what it is.
Yeah, there's stuff like I love, like when he did like The Omen, where I'm like, this movie's a masterpiece, but the editing into this is fucking baffling.
Yeah. Okay, so that guy's dead. Some random frat guy. The scientists then later are like having a drink and joking about how that the guy in the opening, how he died, and like how his death actually wasn't that bad because at least he got laid. And they're like, he, I want to go that way. And I was like,
And, like I forget if it's in this scene or if it's like a little later. Someone is like, one of the scientist women are just like, they all think they want, or no, maybe it's like one of the dudes, but they're like, everyone just thinks they want to like come and then die immediately, and nobody actually does want that. In like the more like reality of it.
Yeah.
That
Um,
that one guy, the older guy talking like when they're first going over how everyone's dying, like having sex, he's like, "That's how I want to go, coming while I'm going."
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. I knew that one of you would have remembered that, so I did
I
not write
I
it down.
specifically watching it, I was like make a mental note of this, but I watched it like 9 hours ago or whatever, forgot already.
Yeah. So then mysteriously, the guy who just died, his wife gets a call on the phone, and the caller is like, "I was at the motel with your husband, and you need to come talk to me right now." Suspicious. Um, this is the scene where Nathan was talking about where the scientist is found dead in his lab, and he's like spread eagle, but there's like a Bunsen burner covering his junk.
Perfect cinematography.
He he's also like, blah, his face.
And, like, so
Um,
many of the dudes in this movie look like, oh fuck, I can't think of his name now. It's this dude from the Drew Carey show. I'll send you guys a picture. I'll see if I can find him.
okay.
Like all of the dudes that work in like this lab or whatever, just none of them are like remotely attractive.
No, that's why I was like, when she's talking about how they're all swingers and sleeping around and stuff, and I was like, with who? Because the women are not, like, they don't seem like they are having a hard time, like, in that department. But, anyways. Um, there's another random guy that dies. This time we hear a buzzing. Bzz, 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 bzz. So there's a town hall meeting where they have gotten together with like the sheriff, the leftover doctors, and like the people in the town. And they're basically just like, there's 8 people dead at this point. This is really serious. Like, we need to figure out what's going on here. And basically, the one doctor is being like super clinical. And he's like, listen, the deaths are being caused by overexhaustion during the act of intercourse. That's like the plain facts. Everybody in the town hall meeting is like laughing and giggling about this because they're, in high school, I guess.
They're all just cheering. Yeah,
Yeah, woohoo hee hee, and they're like laughing about it because then the doctor starts talking
high-fiving.
about like literally like haha. He's talking about how like they don't actually know what's going on. It could be some kind of venereal disease, and of course, upon talking about venereal diseases, everyone's like giggling and whatnot. And the doctor is like, until we can figure out what's going on, he proposes that they all participate in abstinence. And as soon as he says this, one of the dudes in the crowd absolutely loses his shit over this. He is like, I have almost never seen anybody be more upset about something in my whole life. And he's basically just like, you guys aren't going to tell me what to do if I want to bag my old lady or whatever the fuck 70s guy
Ball.
language he's using. He's gonna
Yeah.
ball his old lady. And yeah, that's fair, actually.
Nothing-
His name is Ian Gomez, and he is in like every fucking 90s comedy.
Yeah. Just add glasses and that's like all the doctors.
He just needs like
This is-
the more 70s like poofy bald guy hair.
It is.
Um,
It is stunning how little has changed between then and like 2020.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
Honestly.
like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
So-
most uncomfortable I felt during this whole movie. It's like, oh, not this
Yeah.
again.
So they're like, literally like, they're not gonna tell me what to do if I want to bang my wife, whatever. And everyone's like jeering and like agreeing with him. And he's like, you're not gonna let us tell us what to do, whatever. Like, it keeps going or whatever. So one of the doctors goes home and like gets in bed with his wife, and she is like applying like cold cream to her face, just like minding her own business. And he like looks up from his book and he goes, abstinence isn't going to be you around here. And then she looks at him
Jesus.
and says, if I could be sure it'd kill you, I'd do it. Go off, Queen!
Hell yeah.
Oh my god. I loved her.
This entire movie is the epitome of like women's rights and wrongs.
Yeah, like literally, actually. I actually ended up being a little bummed by what ends up happening to her because I really wanted her to have vengeance because fuck you, dude. Are you kidding me? When she said that to him, I like literally was like cheering.
Katie
I was
yelled,
standing up
"Yas,
in
queen."
this seat. I did. Yeah. I don't know that I've ever actually said
Slay.
that,
That
but
is,
mentally,
I
yes.
think, the
I
first
said,
I've ever said that out loud.
I said, let it rip, queen.
Yeah. We're bringing it back.
Okay.
We're good. You're going to start saying that unironically, in like a
I hope
month.
I
Next week.
I hope I do. Let it rip, queen. I love it.
I'm gonna
Let's
I'm
do
going
it.
to start like picking movies that I feel like I could get you to say it unironically through.
Okay, great.
Like,
I
why
feel
did we
like
watch the movie
you know that.
Rad?
I was gonna say it's got to be like an extreme
Yeah,
sports
like
movie.
a BMX
Yeah.
or skateboarding movie.
Yeah.
Dunstan MVP or whatever.
Yeah,
Yes.
Dunstan MVP.
Dunstan and Phoebe.
Trademark.
All the 8 movies are blended together in my mind.
I mean, look, we're getting a new Air
of
Bud
monkeys
movie.
doing skateboarding.
Dunstan.
Yeah, we are.
Dunstan MVP, Murders in the Rue Morgue. It's all the same.
Dunstan's locked
I
in.
wish I knew how to edit audio or video because I would like. I just want to fucking combine like Dunstan Checks In and fucking Ruborg into like one movie now.
When I said, you know that meme that's like the girl with like the really long fingernails and and she's got like the sleeves and like the high ponytail.
No.
It's like,
No? What?
yes, you do. Okay, I'm gonna.
Katie's talking about salad fingers.
Oh my god. Have you watched that recently?
Not like in the last year, but like, probably in the last like 5 years I've seen some of it.
It was like on TV, kind of for some like that really weird animation channel that we had. It was like on TV and we watched it and we were like, what?
Nickelodeon?
Yep.
Cartoon Network. I would be fucking baffled if I ever turned on my TV and Salad Fingers was on.
It was so confusing. I was like, what even? This is like kind of weirder than I remember, which is saying a lot. You guys have definitely sent this meme. I'm about to send
I'm
it to
Googling
you.
long nail
But
lady
anyways,
meme.
they used to they do it. They like superimpose it over like real people pictures. But I sent you one. You'll know. Here it is. Okay.
Oh.
All right. Let's give. This is a crazy.
I don't have.
That's
I would
how it-
not,
yeah.
in a million years, have guessed.
You didn't even say
This is what you were talking about.
Starfish.
Okay, because it's not always Patrick Starfish. It's like sometimes other people, and then there's like a long pony going on.
Like, kid, I would have never ever come to like this.
Okay. I can imagine this episode is probably really annoying to listen to because
Cheers.
nobody knows what we're
Fuck
talking
these
about.
listeners.
That's how I felt when I said let it rip, Queen. So there you go.
Oh god, now I just
Okay,
got pictures
all right.
of like women with like long ass toenails. This is upsetting.
Oh no, thank you. Okay. I don't really understand what this means, but I wrote Dr. Wife has B vision of guy who freaked out at town. Oh, the
Dr.
so-
Wife has B vision. Pretty
Yeah.
self-explanatory, I think.
That's true. Yeah. So the doctor who died in the beginning, his wife, the one that got the call that was like, please come to the lab immediately. It's dire. She shows up, and the guy who like freaked out over the abstinence idea at the town hall was like drinking at the pub or whatever. It's not a pub. Drinking at the billiards. The billiards.
Fucking memes.
Drinking at the billiards.
What I just googled long nail lady meme. And they are
Yeah.
all insane. One is
There's one specifically
one
that's
is-
like an
One is just the top image is just fingers with long nails. It says "When you are a girl," and the bottom one is just a hand with like very short trimmed nails. That says "When you are a coding girl."
when you're a coding girl, that's how it just go. Here's kind of like, there's just like, but then they started like superimposing this over real people's pictures and like, there's all kinds of stuff going on. But that's it. That's like being a girl, It's just like when you're a girl,
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, people listening will understand what I'm saying.
No,
Okay,
they
so the
won't.
doctor's wife. They will.
We've seen
Comment
it and
on
we
this.
don't know what you're saying.
People will know.
The real ones know.
This is an episode for the girls only, okay? So, let's see. Yeah. So, the guy's wife who died, who was, like, secretly called away to whatever, shows up and she's all, like, central now. She, like, approaches the guy who didn't like the abstinence and is basically just like, hey, big fella. But when we see him, we have B vision. So we're like, what's going on? B vision. Now randomly, the agent and the librarian are like sitting in the car together, and they just like start making out randomly. Which, as you know, is another one of my 70 movies pet peeves, where like they fell in love over nothing.
This dude is just so fucking hot and charismatic. What is he like? What was she supposed to do?
I guess
you
so.
see that perfectly coiffed helmet hair he's got?
I did see the quaffing, yes. Then the wackiest thing in this movie happens, which is that they're making out, and then the doctor who proposed the abstinence in the first place gets chased by a car and then hit and run over.
Yeah.
In front of their very eyes. And she's like, they're killing him!
Deserved.
I was like, that seems really excessive for the guy who is basically just like, hey, maybe you guys should stop bawling because people are dying during it.
Well, whoever's driving that car let it rip, so.
Literally, they did.
They're just trying to make sure that everyone stays abstinent, all right?
They let it rip to the highest degree, if you ask me. So he's dead. So now there's 10 dead. Okay, agent is making a phone call, and he tells the librarian to go wait in the car. She's walking back to the car, and then all of a sudden she just gets jumped by like a bunch of men out of nowhere, and they start harassing her. And I was like, what is going on here? Luckily the agent comes back like right before anything goes too far, and basically like saves her by punching a bunch of guys to the most 70s cop music I have ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
and
the music in this is like the most 70s.
Yeah, it's like
it rocks.
You know. And so he saves her, and this is the part that I was like a little confused about. I think what's happening is that he goes to the doctor who just got ran over that was like, do abstinence, goes to his house, and just like there's like somebody outside watching him who then breaks in and they start fighting. And I was like, what in the hell is going on? And basically after he punches the guy out, he comes to and they start talking, and the guy who broke in, him and the abstinence doctor were in a relationship, and he had like written all of these letters to him being like, I love you so much, XOXO, Gossip Girl. And he's like, I don't want anybody to know, like to see the letters. Once I found out he was dead, I came here to like get the letters. We were supposed to meet tonight, but he broke it off with me, and I came here to like, you know, cover my tracks or whatever. And the agent is basically just like, okay, well, like, what was going on? Like, what do you think happened? And he's like, I don't know, but I saw him with a woman. And the agent's like, do you think he could make it with a woman? I was like, chill out here. And he's like, no, I don't think he could have.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I don't think so.
Like, if you know
Stunning
the things
revelation.
he had done to me.
Like, pretty much. And
this
then
fucking virgin.
It actually goes no further than this situation. They like never talk about him again. But I was like, okay.
I swear every scene in this movie is like that, where it's like 3 minutes and you're out, and it's like you get like the briefest bit of information, and then you're just on to the next thing.
Yep. Immediately, like, that's right. There's been this the singular female doctor is this really elusive doctor. She's got these huge, like I said, these huge bee glasses on. She's like very quiet. There's like a scene where those guys were joking about that dude dying, talking about how like, oh, don't even look at her. She's cold as ice. She's frigid. She's frigid as an iceberg. And they just like go on and on about how she won't give anybody the time of day. And one of the like 2 doctors that are left alive basically like finally gets talking to her. and asks her out to dinner. During this scene, though, it's like funny because they're just like talking about, I don't know, like mundane stuff, but she puts like 12 sugars in her coffee. And he's basically just like, you shouldn't eat so much sugar. It'll spoil your appetite. And I was like, first off, fuck right off, sir. If she wants 12 packets of sugar in her coffee, let it rip, queen. Do you know what I'm saying?
Amen.
So this date that's going on with this doctor and the queen bee lady doctor goes on for so long, and as it's happening, we're also seeing the agent and the librarian watch a informational film about bugs and bees, and basically it's like about the mating habits of bees, where they're basically talking like the queen bee is born, and except, you know, they're just like watching information about it. And so meanwhile, the queen bee is like seducing this doctor, and like I said, it goes on for like 20 minutes. It's a very, very long scene, and it goes on forever until eventually she gets bee eyes. And this is the first time we see anything, because she takes off her sunglasses and her eyes are normal, but then when she starts to get bead, she just has like huge black, totally black eyes, you know, bee eyes.
Yeah, we've all been there.
And so the next scene is that the agent goes to talk to the queen bee. Again, she's wearing sunglasses inside. I just feel like this should be like a red flag if somebody's wearing sunglasses inside, but it's fine. And he's like, they go through this like whole thing where she's like, I'm very, very busy. I can't talk to you right now. I'm doing an experiment. And he's like, oh, please, like, it's really important. I just have a few questions. She's like, oh, fine. So she comes and she's like, please do make it quick. I'm in the middle of an experiment. We're in the middle of an experiment. He's like, what do you mean we? And she's like, me and the doctor that's overseas, I'm using his notes. And she goes on and on and on. So then she goes, okay, what's your question? And the only thing he asks her is, how many times does the queen bee mate? Okay.
What else
she
would
says,
you need to know?
I'm like, why are you even fucking there?
I'm pretty sure
I
if
was
you
literally
know
gonna say
that, you could get a degree in biology.
Yeah. Also, just Google it, my guy. But no, but they like watch.
Get your fucking cell phone out and Google it.
What a
Fucking moron.
So basically, she says, the queen bee will only mate once to reproduce, and then that's it. And so he's like, and then they don't even have any parting words. They just both turn away from each other and walk away. And I was like, what? That's so awkward. He didn't even say take it easy or anything.
Yeah.
They just silently walked away.
The rudest thing you could do is not say take it easy to somebody.
I know, right? He wasn't even like, oh, good luck with your research. Let it rip, you know? Nothing. Okay, so then we follow.
If it's good, take it twice or whatever the fuck kid said. Sorry, Tess.
Man,
this episode is off the rails.
You know what? As it should be.
Yeah.
Where are our sound effects?
I honestly should just fucking put some fucking real stupid things together and just throw them on here.
Are there any bee sounds on the soundboard?
No. I mean...
That's pretty close. That's pretty good.
This is the closest. And this.
I just remember, like, one of the Ghost Adventures episodes we did. I was like talking about how they were doing like a spirit box, and they were like misinterpreting the information, and I was like, and then Aaron said drowned, and then the guy said no, and then you played the womp womp thing. Yeah. And it like sent me, like, I feel it. I was like, I am retired now. I can't go on.
The sad horde is the best.
It really is. Okay. What happened? Oh, okay. So they basically just part ways. Okay. Then we follow Queen Bee downstairs for like 20 minutes into the deepest depths of this research facility, where the the newest doctor whose wife died is down there, and we see the entire, like, she basically calls and is just like, your husband is in dire need. You need to come here now, or your husband's not gonna make it. You need to come. So she does. And essentially, what they've been doing this entire time
I just like the idea
is like,
of like, if you don't come down here, your husband will die.
Yeah, but yeah, right. What if she's just like, and then she
it's
just like
fine.
keeps reading. It's fine. It's whatever. He's disposable. So they've basically, it's like revealed to us that there's all of the other women's wives. So it's basically like they're killing the husbands and then converting the wives into more bee girls, which sounds great. And they basically show us the entire process of becoming a bee girl, which is that they prick her with a pin that has a bee on the end, but like on her temple, which doesn't seem really great. But then they put her in this, like, it literally looks like one of those jungle gyms
That's like
that
pretty
you
much
would
exactly what it
see,
is.
where it's like a dome but made of bars, so you can climb the whole thing. I hope I'm explaining that correctly. But they put her in there and basically yes, and basically they do science to her. And the science is that they're flashing different colored lights on her. Yeah. And then they cover her with what I assume is supposed to be honey, except it's white, so it's kind of weird. But she's like naked and they're just like rubbing goopy white shit all over her.
I assumed it was like wax. Like
maybe.
Like beeswax.
Yeah, maybe. It's confusing because it does kind of look like wax. It looks closer to candle wax to me, but I don't know.
Oh,
then,
it looked like that, like, plaster shit you put on somebody to do like a
like a body mold.
Yeah, like a life cast of them when you're gonna blow up their head in a movie or whatever.
Yeah,
honestly,
or like latex or something.
They're making bee lady fuck dolls for everyone, so that way no one dies.
Honestly, I don't know why this cop didn't suggest that. The movie could have been over in like 10 minutes.
That's
what
true,
an incredible
together.
Tourist trap idea.
Yeah.
Come fuck a bee woman.
Yeah. What if we just turn these bee women into fuck dolls and end the movie? But like it's the 70s, so they all just look like those like real shitty blow up dolls. It's
like a mannequin.
They just put those round sunglasses on them.
There they are.
It's just a mannequin. They just like cut a hole in.
Well, you know,
it's all sharp, like jagged and sharp.
Fiberglass.
Yeah, because I was saying because it's like made out of whatever the fuck mannequins are made out of.
They're wax, so they start melting.
Ew. Okay, so they cover her with whatever goop, and then that is covered by bees, and then afterwards they peel off like the white stuff, and it's like elasticy now. So like that's why I'm like, I don't know if it's supposed to be wax or honey or what. But anyways, she comes out, and she's hot now because she's wearing eyeshadow, in case you were wondering. And then the queen bee kisses her, and now she's also a bee girl. Like, easy peasy.
It doesn't seem like that hard of a process to become a bee girl.
No, and I will say, they all seem to be having the time of their lives.
Yeah, they're not really doing anything wrong.
No, they're just living life, Then, okay, so now the agent finds the guy that the queen bee killed dead, and they decide that they're going to quarantine the building, I guess, ? I don't really know. The sheriff goes over to the guy who just dies, his wife, and is like, oh, and you can tell she's a bee girl now because she's wearing sunglasses during the day. And he's just like, hey,
during the day?
Inside, I mean. Inside during the day. And the sheriff is like, hey, your husband died. And she's like, okay, thanks. Well, whatever. And then she tries to, like, bee him. He's not interested. So he leaves. And she's like, all right, whatever. The agent asks, like, the two remaining doctors, is it possible for you to be able to... So he's basically, like, somehow watched this video about bees with the librarian and is now, like, convinced that there's, like, some kind of weird bee thing going on. And I'm like, I don't really know how you came upon that. Because it's not like they found anything at the crime, like, the murder scenes that would indicate bees had anything to do with it, or a toxin, or like anything, but he's just like, I have a hunch here. And he's like, is it possible to like splice together two animals? And one of the doctors is like, no, that's not possible. And the other one's just like, yeah, maybe you could do it with bees.
Yeah.
Like that guy, like that doctor who's doing experiments with bees. And I was like, okay. They basically were just like, I don't know, we need to end this thing. Like, let's just have this guy immediately make this connection.
How come no one told me there was somebody studying bees this entire time?
Right? I've been saying bees from day one. I don't really know. It didn't. So basically, then they decide that they can use a science camera, to basically see like the mutation on the bee girls. Like they give off because there's like radiation that is involved with it, I guess. And so if they take a picture with the science camera, then they could like see that there's radiation. So it cuts to a funeral in a graveyard. So graveyard whores or whatever you said it was called.
Graveyard whores.
And I would also watch that movie.
Same.
So, and basically, like at the funeral, all of the bee girls are like standing together, wearing like the lowest cut black dresses you could possibly wear, because they're just like living their best lives here. Yeah, and the librarian is like taking pictures of them with the science camera, but like it's not subtle at all. And the queen bee can immediately like tell what she's doing. But they also don't really show us what the science camera stuff looks like. It's just like a regular camera that she's taking a photo with, or whatever, EMF something. They're ghost hunting now. Yeah. And this is when we cut back to like the doctor who earlier in the movie was like, abstinence is nothing new around here. His wife comes out in like lingerie and is just like, hey, big dog, what's up? And he's like, all right. But then they start making out, and he kind of like doesn't fall for whatever's going on with her, and he like sees her eyes change too soon, and then he ends up just like strangling her with her pantyhose, which made me sad because I wanted revenge for her.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to a real one. So, okay, the queen bee comes to talk to the librarian, is basically just like, hey, I know what you've been doing, but don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you because you're a lady. Why don't you come with me and I'll tell you my secrets? And the librarian's just like, okay. So like,
sure.
While this is happening, the agent guy like pulls up to the outside of the quarantine and is like, hey, I have to get in there. And they're like, okay, go use that Jeep. And like as he's walking to the Jeep, there's a bunch of people, there's like a mob going after him. They're like, hey, get on back here. Hey, you. Hey, stop right there. And I was like, what is going on with this mob situation? Like, I'm really confused about it. But anyways, he just gets in the Jeep and drives to the facility. Because he's realized now that the librarian is going to be a target. So he's going to save her. They show back to the bee lab. The librarian is getting beat up in the jungle gym. And he ends up running in and like grabbing her, and he like shoots a part of the machine that starts sparking and malfunctioning and stuff. And I guess it just like electrocutes and kills all the bee girls, which is sad.
Yeah, it seems like real fucking like abrupt ending.
Yeah, ending. Yeah, because it's like he somehow managed to kill every single one of the bee girls with like one shot of his gun. And I was like, okay. He's just that good, I guess, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what
I bet I could kill a whole bunch of bees with one shot.
Maybe. Then there is kind of like a cool scene of him like looking through like the glass of the door, and the queen bee is like peeling her face skin off. That was pretty cool. And she's like making a really high pitched sound, which was like unnerving. So she's dead. All the bee girls are dead.
Really not. They come back in
the librarian. That's true.
R.I.B.
Okay. So basically now
Rest
they're
in
like
bees.
talking about what Rest in bees. the sheriff, they're like explaining this to the sheriff. They're like, "Oh, by the way, there were B girls," and he's just like, "All right."
Just
Like
another
no
day.
no questions really.
Yeah.
Except he's like, "Okay, what was the motivation? Like why were they killing all those guys?" And I was like, "Well, you don't really need motivation." But the librarian basically is saying that the radiation that they were using in the procedure to turn the women into B girls made them sterile. And so typically the reason they were saying that queen bees only mate once to procreate, they essentially, because they were sterile, they couldn't procreate, so they were like overcome by this like need to,
Just gotta keep fucking.
yeah, like over and over and over again. And then like we're they don't really actually explain how they were killing the men though. Well, the men just couldn't keep up, I guess, and were dying immediately upon sleeping with them once, which like I don't know. We didn't really actually see any there like for a movie where the men were being killed by having sex, there wasn't really a lot of sex shown. If surprisingly,
I'd be
Not a
curious.
single dong.
I'd be curious if this was like a movie that had like a more in-depth script that just got
yeah.
cut
Okay,
down because
so
of like funding or something.
okay, well, no, I read briefly that whoever originally wrote the script like went away on vacation or something, and then they changed the script. And when he came back, he was like, "Oh, I don't want my name on this movie anymore."
Yeah, I
And then
did
they
see
just
that.
like convinced him. Yeah, so I think so. Like something happened. I don't think there was any more details up against like why or what they changed, but like probably, I would think. Okay, so
Somebody
she's
should
like, "Yeah,
remake
they
this.
just
Yeah.
This is the type of shit they should be doing modern remakes of, not like the ninth fucking remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
yeah, that's fair." Um, okay, so yeah. They're like, so that's what happened, and the sheriff is just like, all right, great, see, just take it easy, and they like leave. There's like this weird scene where like the librarian and the agent are like at her house, and she's like talking to him about things, and he's just like walking away from her, but like around her house, and she's just like trying to talk about like whatever, and he's like not listening to her, and then he just like throws her on the bed and they start making out, and then it pulls away to reveal a bee on a flower to that Space Odyssey song that's like da na na na, and I was like, what? What the fuck?
Makes sense to me.
So needless to say, it's just like another one of those movies I feel where like the first like hour of the movie they're like, yeah, just do whatever you want, and then it got like 15 minutes left and they were like, just finish it.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's a movie where they like shot a bunch of stuff. Like you said, like just do whatever you want, and they're like, oh fuck, we gotta make this make sense. The editor will do it.
Shit.
The editor will figure it
So-
out. Here you go. Here's 3 hours of footage. Turn it into 80 minutes.
Yeah, the synopsis on Letterboxd says a powerful cosmic force is turning Earth women into queen bees who kill men by wearing them out sexually. What? Where's the cosmic? Like this to me,
Maybe they mentioned something. I
seemed-
wonder if like whatever the shit they're doing with that fucking goop, there's some sort of like cosmic thing that they just don't really explain.
I assume so because it's like, okay, the lead, that's kind of the thing, right? Like Invasion of the Bee Girls kind of like lends itself to the idea that there's like some kind of like, I don't know, like extraterrestrial thing, again with the cosmic force, but they don't ever go into any detail about specifically like what the head queen bee, she's like a lead scientist, she's like the only woman. They don't really give any backstory as to like what the research is that she's doing or like why she's a bee. Like, was there an experiment that went wrong that turned her into a bee and now she's being everybody? Like, I don't know. I feel like the plot needed to be explained like a smidge more, just like the tiniest little
Well,
smidge.
that's not what fake
But
70s movies do.
I know, but I'm just like, where is the subtext of it being cosmic left out to me? But
They should have just did like the fucking Maximum Overdrive where you just see like a star go fucking rolling by in the sky. and you're just like, oh yeah,
Hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this makes sense
And
anything.
it's
now.
just like a text explanation at the end
Yeah.
where it's like, hey, this happened and everything's normal now.
All the trucks are
Yep.
back
Bye.
to being dead.
Well, back to being
Pretty sure
dead.
that's the point of that movie.
Yeah, like
Uh,
essentially.
all right.
Let it rip.
Yep. Let it rip. Go watch this shit on Tubi. Or the fucking 40 versions of it on YouTube that all, for some reason, have different run times.
Yeah, I did watch it on Tubi, and as I said, there were no subtitles for Tubi, so not that I feel like I really missed out on that much, but I don't know. It was,
I think my DVD
yeah.
had subtitles. If I'm correct. For some reason, I feel like I watched this with subtitles, but I don't remember. Alright. Was there any news? I feel like there was something that happened recently that I was going to bring up, but I don't remember. Oh well.
Nothing ever
Who
happens.
cares? Katie, did you watch anything this week? Or last week? Whatever the fuck we recorded last.
I didn't watch anything when I was like actually on vacation, but on the plane on the way back, I watched Captain America: Brave New World. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
It was fine. I think it's kind of like tough at this point because we're like back in a headspace of like building character stories up again. So there just like wasn't a lot of like action, and also the action that there was I kind of didn't care about. But it was fine. And then I watched Thunderbolts, which I actually really liked.
Yeah, that's like the one
I
I feel like most people have been like, hey, this is actually a good one.
Yeah, I wanted to say something else about Brave New World, and I forgot the guy. Tim Blake Nelson is in it, and he is pretty good in his role. And like the movie was fine. I don't know that I would have picked Harrison Ford as like the like president, but it was fine. I liked the guy who is trying to become like Falcon. Like that story was like pretty fun, and then the first Captain America is like kind of like a focus in it, so that was like interesting. But yeah, Thunderbolts, I actually didn't really totally know a lot about it because I just like didn't really watch trailers because I knew I wouldn't really be able to watch it anytime soon. And I thought it was again like we're back to the point where like these aren't necessarily like movies I would call fun, but it was really good. Like I thought the action, because like all of the characters who are like the main characters in this movie coming together don't have necessarily superpowers in the way that we're used to seeing the heroes have superpowers. Like nobody can fly, there's no heat vision, you know, et cetera, stuff like that. So there is action and fighting, but it is toned down a little bit. But I actually really liked that. And I liked the like what ended up happening with like the quote unquote villain. So I thought it was really good. Trying to feel like I watched another thing, but I don't think I did.
Alright. What about you, Kit?
I think I only watched The Long Walk, which was
Oh,
actually really good.
okay.
I'll say everyone in it is so good, and I had zero expectations, because you know it's a Stephen King
Yeah.
movie. But no, it was really good. I'll say Cooper Hoffman is incredible. As he always is. Uh, the I don't know the actor's name, but he was the droid in Alien Romulus,
Romulus.
and he's great in it. Their chemistry's really good. Yeah, no, I was very surprised by it.
Have you watched any of Alien Earth yet?
Yes, I'm all caught up, waiting for the finale tonight.
What?
Oh,
I mean, like,
perfect.
it's obviously not spoilers because I haven't watched any of it yet, but, like, what do you think?
Uh, I was way into it, and then the last episode, I was like, okay, I don't know if I'm way into this. So, um, it lost me a little bit in the last one, but we'll see if maybe it's just set up for what's happening in this episode, and retroactively everything will be fine, or if they're going to do something really dumb that I do not like.
Seems like probably that option, based on
Yeah,
every TV show that I've watched in the last little bit, like that, like some sort of movie, like franchise that makes it to TV. That like I'm just like, oh, this is what you decided to do at the end.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like part of it, and this isn't too spoilery, but like a lot of the last episode too is just like xenomorph in broad daylight, which is like
Yikes.
should be fine, right? Like that alone shouldn't be a bothersome thing, but for some reason it really irked me, and I was like, I
That's
aesthetically hate
been my
this. This
biggest
is really irritating to me for some reason.
my biggest thing about like when they announced it is I've always like we talked about it in those bonus episodes where I'm like I just don't want to see them on Earth. I don't care. That's unappealing to me. And so
Yeah.
like that being like the entire premise of the show or whatever, I was like I don't know if I'm at all interested in this. Like obviously I will
There's
watch it, but
there's been other stuff that has been really good and very interesting, but like uh, the xenomorph thread, the last episode is what kind of lost me. And it's like, okay,
I
well,
like
what?
the
What?
the little like 3 run of the novels that was supposed to be like the like alternate version of what happened with like Hicks and Newt all
Yeah.
deals with the idea. I think this is what these novels, if I'm remembering correctly, but some 3 run of the novels I read dealt with like one guy from Wayland Yutani actually gets a xenomorph back to Earth, and like what you expect to happen happens, and they just overrun, and like most humans have to like flee to space, and so like the basically the only stuff you really get on Earth is these like stray transmissions from people still on Earth that like whoever on these space stations are like these are probably like 15 years old by the time they hit us. Those people are probably dead. And then like uh you know essentially this version of Hicks is like trying to like get back to Earth to like try to help eradicate the xenomorphs. So like it deals with them
Yeah.
on Earth, but you're like rarely on Earth, which I kind of liked that take on it. Where like basically
Yeah.
they're just like, yeah, they're here and everybody's dead now in like a matter of weeks. But yeah, I don't know. I think we canceled our Hulu, so I just whenever that hits Blu-ray, I'll buy it. We can do like a bonus episode on them or whatever. But I
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
I was
it's
just like, I'll wait till it's all done and then watch it.
I I will say it's been like really fucking weird within one calendar year seeing two alien things like trying to pay off random shit from Alien Resurrection.
Hell yeah.
Hmm.
Like it's
That's
like what the fuck is going on here? What is
it's the
happening?
Earth I'm building,
Yeah, Katie's
brick by brick.
Katie's been running Fox for the last couple years. I just like I don't know. I was having a conversation with someone about Romulus because they had watched it for the first time, and just kind of just being like, I don't know, like I don't like I half of me really appreciates the sort of world building they're trying to do with like the black goo and shit. And the other half where I'm
Yeah.
just like, I don't need any of these to tie together. Just have some
Yeah.
fucking people on a
I don't
spaceship and like shit happens with xenomorphs. That's all I really want.
yeah. I don't need any new alien movie to be a slave to the older
Yeah.
movies. Like just fucking do whatever. Like I don't give a shit.
Just throw Wayland Yutani logo in the background and I'm fine.
Yeah.
uh
Which is exactly what the new Predator movie's doing.
yeah.
So
Did
high
you
hopes.
see I think this might have actually been like the animated one that there maybe got deleted, maybe got put back in. I think this was like something that came out of Comic-Con, and I don't know if it was a deleted scene or something that was actually in the movie, but that Arnold was revealed to be like a prisoner on like the
Oh
ship
yeah.
or whatever.
So they announced that, and they like went and they added it into the movie on Hulu. So it's just like a little extra thing that's in it now.
Oh, okay.
It's like quote unquote extended, but it's like, 2 seconds
Yeah.
or whatever. But it has like Arnold and I think uh, Danny Glover
No
too,
Topher Grace.
if I remember right. That's no Topher Grace. Very sad.
Um, pretty much all I watched is where I've been going through that with Gorley Russ podcast. I went through all the Halloween movies through the 2018 redo or whatever, and that franchise still fucking baffling.
It's bad.
It's
not good.
Man, there's like
Less than half of them are worth watching.
I agree. Like that entire middle run in like the late 80s and early 90s is fucking like they're fine to watch as like a stupid movie, but they're so fucking weird. It just like it has to be the strangest fucking slasher franchise because it's just like it just seems like from movie to movie they're like, I don't know, what if it's a curse this time? What if it's a cult? What if he actually has a fucking niece that he wants to fucking transfer his soul into or whatever the fuck?
What?
And then I watched Lego Jurassic Park, the unofficial retelling. Caitlin, one of Caitlin's
Amazing.
nephews, was here
Sick.
for a little bit, and I was like just looking. I was like, I've never looked at like the kids' fucking versions of like whatever's on these streaming sites, and I came across it's like a 23-minute thing where it's Ian Malcolm retelling Jurassic Park, but for like kids. It's all
Sick.
but all
Yeah.
Lego,
Mhm.
and it's not great, but it's whatever.
The Lego Jurassic Park game is a lot of fun.
Oh man, the Lego Batman and like I had like the Lego Avengers one are like super fun. So I would assume Jurassic Park is also very fun. The one scene when they do like the T-Rex breakout was pretty good because the fucking lawyer runs out and has to build an outhouse to run into. So that was pretty funny. But and my biggest complaint when Newman sets up the computer program, you don't get the or like
Wow.
whatever. I was like,
Aw.
How
"Come
could you
on,
leave
man."
that out?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's just we've been working our way through. Game Changers, the greatest show of all time.
So good.
All right, Katie, will you shout out?
I have an anti-shout out.
Game Changers.
When I was, yeah, no. When I was in Oregon, I got my hands on a Warheads Extreme Sour Pickle
that
in a
sounds
pouch.
so gross. Why would you buy that?
Just
It was in a
because.
pouch.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
never mind.
pickle in a
Never mind.
pouch,
I don't even know
extreme
why I
warhead.
said that.
I will say it was not sour at all. And I don't know if it's just because I have like a high sour tolerance, but like, have you ever had the Grillo's pickles that are like mostly still cucumber?
No.
Anybody?
I know
No?
what you're talking about.
Those are
but I
kind of
haven't
like,
had 'em.
yeah. I am obsessed with them. They're so good. They're more sour than this Warhead's Extreme Sour Pickle was. And so I'm like biting into it. And then I'm like reading the back, and it's like, this pickle serving size is 4 pickles. And in one serving, there's like 900 milligrams of sodium or whatever. And I was like, I stopped eating it. So I took like 2 bites and was like, that'll do me. So, I have been known to get caught up in some gimmicks, and that was one of them.
The pickle pouch.
Yeah, it wasn't even a good pickle, which is like the most heinous part of it. But then I found one of my favorite treats, which is Sour Patch Kids Apple Harvest, which I'm obsessed with.
What,
So
is it
shout
just
out
apple flavored, I
to
take
those.
it.
Yeah, it's cranberry apple, apple cider, and caramel apple. And they're shaped like little apples. And the little guy has a little farmer's hat because he'd been out in the field picking apples, and they're so good. I love them. Also, not sour to me, but maybe, I don't know. They're so good.
All right, what do you want to shout out, Kit?
I'm prepared this time. Shout out the brand new Hideo Kojima Jordan Peele game that they released a teaser for last night called OD. It looks sick as fuck and horrific, and I'm gonna be too scared to play
I
it.
assume the entire game was going to be like the Key and Peele sketch where they are quietly saying that they call their girlfriends bitches.
I said,
It could be.
I said, bitch.
you said that though, right?
I would
I love
play an
that
entire game of just that. Just sneaking
Yeah,
around
me too.
trying to fucking...
Yeah, the right location where you can whisper bitch.
I will shout out. I finally...
Oh, and
Go.
anti shout out the world
Yeah.
also.
Yeah, there you go. Good.
Always. This is evergreen because things are great.
Yes.
I finally got my hands on a copy of the DC Horror Volume 4 that's got Steven Kostanski's story in it about Matter Eater Lad being malnourished
Hell
and
yeah.
trying to get back to being Matter Eater Lad. And we were
Like, what more could you
we
want?
were like DMing what I like posted about getting it, about how it's insane that DC constantly goes back to the same like 10 villains when they have the most unhinged like roster of bad guys to pick for, where I was just like, give me straight up dark, grim Robert Pattinson Batman, but he's fighting Kite Man or Calendar Man or some shit.
Yeah, KG Beast.
Yep, I'm in. Let's go. All right. We'll figure something out for next week. I have no idea. I will be out of town all weekend, so I don't know. We'll figure something out. Something stupid next week, or whenever we record again.
As always.
Unsurprising, we'll be doing something stupid.
Yeah.
There was something
What a rip.
I'd added to my watch list that I was like, oh, I saw a fucking video on Instagram for a movie called The Regenerated Man that looked absolutely fucking crazy. And then one called Pizza Panic Party, but that was like a 10-minute short that I was like, I need to watch this because there was essentially what looked like a malignant, but it was a piece of pizza coming out of someone's head.
Perfect.
So, you know that rocks.
Incredible.
I also keep getting a bunch of videos about like Bangladesh and fucking like Nepal RoboCop remakes and shit, and I was like, I need to watch all of these. Oh, I saw like a supercut of all of these like other countries that made their own shitty RoboCop remakes, but the only things they were showing in this clip was just every time the dude gets shot in the dick. So I was like, now I need to watch all these RoboCop remakes where they like every RoboCop looks as shitty as the one in Robo Vampire. So, you know, it's good.
Definitely.
All right. If you would like to support us, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/IPSufferPodcast. We'll have Katie and I were talking about some bonus stuff for October, but I don't remember what any of it was now, so it'll be a surprise to me too.
Yeah.
You can
Oh,
buy some merch, including our Amityville skateboarding t-shirt at our Redbubble.
Hell yeah.
Redbubble.com. I hope you suffer, I think. Something. Just go look. Just look up
You'll find it.
Look up Amityville on there. You'll find it. You could also buy a Morbius backpack if you want. I forget which one of them had the bucket hat, and I was like, I'm about to buy a fucking bucket hat with one of these fucking designs on it.
I think it was the shark logo.
I'm so mad that bucket hats are popular now.
Yeah, they're real popular.
There's a guy at work that bought a branded one, like company branded, and he's just wearing it every
Oh,
day.
Setting.
That's weird.
Like,
It's even weirder that it's company branded.
Yeah,
if you
he's got to be in uniform.
if you were like at the beach all the time or some shit, I'm like, all right, this is at least practical. But like, just
If your head was shaped like a
yeah,
bucket,
just put a bucket on your head. I'm gonna start. I'm just gonna write "I hope you suffer"
it's like Buckethead.
on a bucket, yeah, on just a KFC bucket and sell it to people.
Do it.
I'm sure I'll make a lot of money. You can leave us a rating and review on iTunes and Spotify or whatever the fuck you listen to this on. You can follow Kit at Hidden Kitstery and Kitchification of Blood. Go see Hooch painting figures.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I've seen Hooch being a neck pillow all the time, being a loud neck pillow.
Yep.
You can follow Katie at WerewolfFace and join Katie's Patreon at patreon.com/WerewolfFace, where you can see a bunch of clay figurines that I had no idea what was happening.
Fair.
I was like, most of you know, my like grandfather-in-law has these, and I was like, I've never heard about this, so. You can listen to my other podcast, Nate K Movie Club. I don't know if I ever talked about it, but we did an episode on friendship recently, which is the best movie. So you can go listen to that. We'll have something next week. We were talking about doing a bunch of like shitty horror remakes.
Oh, remakes.
But like,
Yeah.
I'm starting a new job. We're gonna have to adjust some shit. We'll figure something out. So something stupid will be next week. I hope you let it rip, but
Yeah.
ballin'.